refuse to work, you're busy and hands-on, and this is how messy it gets? What are you doing every day?
90% of the time, this is what cleaning looks like for me.
Pookie, is the cheese grater a toy for your toddler or your baby?
Okay, so this is one of those moments where someone hits upload thinking, this is it. This is the video that's finally gonna make people understand me. And instead, it does the exact opposite. Like, not just a little bit opposite, completely flips the situation on its head. So Stephanie Jenkins posts this video, right? And the whole energy behind it is very clear. She's trying to show the real side of her life, not the polished, aesthetic, perfectly lit, everything is in place version of motherhood we usually see online. No, this is supposed to be raw, chaotic, unfiltered. She's basically saying, look, I'm overwhelmed, I'm busy, I'm in the middle of real life with real kids and real mess. So of course, things aren't gonna look perfect. And honestly, that kind of message usually works. People like authenticity. People relate to struggle. Nobody is expecting some fantasy version of motherhood where everything magically stays clean and calm. So in theory, this should have landed. But here's where things start getting messy, and not in the way she intended. Because she doesn't just say all of this, she tries to prove it. She includes actual footage to back up her point. And the second you do that, the audience switches modes. They're not just listening anymore, they're analyzing. And the moment people started really looking at the video instead of just hearing her explanation, everything shifted, like instantly. Because instead of the visuals reinforcing her "I'm just a stressed, hands-on mom" narrative, they started raising questions. A lot of them. What she framed as normal chaos started coming across to viewers as something else entirely. People weren't seeing relatable mess. They were seeing what looked like extreme disorder. And that's when the comments started rolling in. At first, it was confusion, people pausing, replaying, zooming in like, wait, what am I actually looking at here? Then it turned into full-on skepticism because now there's this disconnect. Her words are saying one thing, but the visuals are telling a completely different story. And once that disconnect clicks for an audience, it's over.
So 90% of the time, this is what cleaning looks like for me. And that's why I mentioned in one of my videos a couple days ago that, like, if I really was to have the camera on my activity all day, it would be a little more invasive on the kids than I want, because this is their home setting. You know, they're just relaxing, being themselves, and I don't want for people to just be able to, like, sit and pick apart what my kids are doing in their freaking home setting. I find that just annoying. But sometimes I think people forget, like, there's a realistic point of view that you're just not getting when I'm not sharing some of that. Because a lot of what makes me relatable and authentic is the fact that I am this busy, hands-on mom that is pretty much always wrapped up in this tornado of kids, basically. And I would have it absolutely no other way. Like, I feel like a lot of people dismiss the fact that it's generally the people that claim to be perfect that end up being the problem, okay? It's not that I'm proud, but I do just put my shit show out there because I'm not ashamed of it. So if at any point you see me being unauthentic, and by that I mean I start to claim perfection, please, then at that point, dislike me. But at this point, give me a freaking chance, okay? Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye now.
The video stops feeling like a defense and starts feeling like evidence. Instead of helping her case, it kind of cross-examines her. And the internet? Oh, the internet picked up on that immediately. Now people aren't just watching casually, they're dissecting. They're comparing what she's saying to what they're seeing frame by frame. And instead of walking away thinking, okay, she's just doing her best, a lot of viewers are walking away like, this isn't adding up. And that's the twist here, because the entire point of the video was to make her more relatable, more understood, more human. But somehow it ended up doing the opposite. It made people question things even more. So now the conversation has completely flipped. It's not about giving her grace anymore, it's about trying to figure out what's real, what's exaggerated, and what exactly she thought people were gonna see versus what they actually saw. Like, it stopped feeling like everyday messy motherhood real quick. It started giving something else. The kind of situation that makes people pause mid-scroll, squint a little, and go, nah, something's not right here. And that right there, that's the problem. Because the second you post your own proof online, people are not just listening to your explanation anymore. They're inspecting the scene like detectives. And that's exactly what happened. The pushback didn't just come in, it came in sharp. Now people are looking at her saying she's constantly cleaning, constantly busy, always hands-on, and then looking at the space behind her like, okay, but then how did it get to this point? Like, genuinely, that became the question. If all this effort is happening in the background, why isn't it showing up in the result? How does a space reach that level if someone is supposedly always on top of it? And just like that, the entire message flipped. What was meant to feel like proof of how hard she works started reading like proof that something in the story wasn't lining up. And once that seed of doubt gets planted, oh, it grows fast. Because now people aren't giving you the benefit of the doubt anymore. They're side-eyeing everything. And that's really the backbone of this whole backlash. It's not just that the room looked bad, it's that what people saw didn't match the role she was trying so hard to sell. She wanted the clip to back her up, but instead it made people question her even more. The video was supposed to say, "See, this is why I deserve grace." But what a lot of people heard was, "This is exactly why people are questioning you." And that kind of backfire, it's brutal. Because once your own defense starts sounding like evidence against you,
That I am this busy, hands-on mom that
Stephanie claims that she is this busy, hands-on mom as she shows us her cleaning an absolute disaster of a mess on the floor in the motel room that she and her 4 children share with an adult man, and it is absolutely disgusting. She is sweeping piles of what looks to be food and trash. What are you doing all day? You refuse to work. You're busy and hands-on, and this is how messy it gets? What are you doing every day? How does it get this messy? If you are busy and hands-on with them, why are you letting them just throw food and trash on the floor? And if you're also so busy with cleaning all the time, how does it get this bad? I genuinely don't understand how it gets this bad.
yeah, the internet is not about to be gentle. At that point, it's over. The room stops being background noise and becomes the main character. Every little detail in that space, now it's under a microscope. The floor, the clutter, the overall condition, suddenly all of that is louder than anything she's saying. And instead of seeing an overwhelmed mom trying to get through the day, viewers started seeing a situation that felt off. And here's the shift that really matters. People stopped watching like supporters and started watching like investigators. And once that happens, every tiny detail starts working against you. Now, the questions don't just come, they multiply. If this is what cleaning looks like, what did it look like before? If this is what you're willing to show while asking for understanding, what aren't we seeing? If this proves how involved you are, why does it feel like the opposite? And suddenly, what was supposed to be relatable starts feeling representative. And that is the worst place to land when you've just told the internet, this is my real life. But wait, it gets messier. Because another angle that completely backfired was the whole "I'm protecting my kids" explanation. On paper, sounds valid. Of course it does. Saying you don't want cameras in your kids' faces all day is a totally reasonable boundary. But in reality, the clip dragged the kids right back into the center of everything anyway. Because once the room became the focus, people weren't just reacting to her, they were reacting to the environment those kids are living in. So instead of reducing attention on them, it actually made viewers more focused. Now people are thinking, what does daily life look like in that space? What's within reach? What's happening around them when the camera is off? So that whole privacy argument, it didn't really shield anything. If anything, it made the contradiction feel even stronger. Because if the goal was to avoid scrutiny, this did the exact opposite. And then, of course, there were the little details. And you already know how this goes. Once people feel uneasy, small things stop feeling small. One moment that really set people off, something in the space being treated like it was totally fine for a toddler to interact with, when viewers were like, should that even be accessible? And that's when the conversation shifts again, because now it's not just about mess or clutter, now it's about judgment, safety, awareness. And once those topics enter the chat, the tone gets a lot more serious a lot faster. And then there's the irony of it all, the kids still being indirectly tied to the content, even after all the talk about keeping them out of it. That didn't go unnoticed either. From the outside, it didn't look like they were truly removed from the narrative. It looked like they were still at the center of it, just without being fully shown. And that made the whole "I'm setting boundaries" explanation feel shaky at best. Now every detail is reinforcing the same narrative: instability, disrepair, things not being under control. And this is where the situation officially stops being about one cleaning video and starts snowballing into something way uglier. Because the second people feel like their suspicions are confirmed, the reaction spreads fast, like wildfire. It's no longer just "this looks messy," it becomes "this says everything."
90% of the time, this is what cleaning looks like for me.
Pookie, is the cheese grater a toy for your toddler or your baby? I've never given my child a cheese grater to play with. Like, that's sharp. Why would that be out? I don't. Also, didn't you say you weren't posting the kids anymore? But what did I tell you? I told you have to post the kids because the kids are your content. Exploiting your children is your only content. You have to post your kids, which is crazy. But that's it. That's the cycle that you're stuck in. If you don't post the kids, you don't make any money because nobody cares about you. You're icky. You're married to a pedo. Hello? Do we forget this? Because I don't forget this. Every time somebody's like, "be nice to Pookie," I'm like, she's married to a pedo in prison. And if you read the court documents, you would also not support Pookie. She's icky. And she's exploiting her kids. Let us not forget. She is exploiting her kids. She's exploiting them in this video right here. Again. Okay, and also, the duct tape looks terrible, Pookie. It looks terrible. Okay, let's see what else she's up to. Let's continue watching.
Because a lot of what makes me relatable and authentic is
Pookie thinks that you're not relatable or authentic. No one can relate to anything that you do. Not a single decision you make, any of us would make. Maybe one of them, sure. We've all made bad decisions, but you've made so many bad decisions in order that now you're in the situation that you're in. And a lot of us would have probably stopped like 50 bad decisions ago. Well, probably more than that. You make 50 bad decisions in a month. You make the worst decisions possible. Also, side note, I can't make laying in my bed content right now because I don't have a bed. Because my daughter has my bed because her bed isn't going to be here till Thursday. So I'm sleeping on the couch, which is what parents do. Remember when your kids didn't have beds and didn't have a bedroom, and then you and King Daddy took the bedroom and the nice bed and put them on the floor on like sleeping bag?
And just like that, the clip turns into a launch pad for every criticism that's ever been attached to her. Past behavior, past decisions, old controversies, everything comes rushing back into the conversation. Now people aren't just reacting to what they see, they're connecting dots. They're treating this video like confirmation that everything they already believed about her was right all along. And that is when the tone shifts from critical to straight up vicious. Because once the narrative becomes "this proves who she is," there's no slowing it down. Every new accusation stacks on top of the last one, and suddenly things get a lot more personal. conversations start pulling in her relationship history, dragging up serious allegations tied to the man she's associated with. And the way people are talking about it, not subtle, not gentle, not holding back. At this point, the clip itself is almost secondary. It's just the doorway, because now the internet isn't just judging a video, they're judging her entire life, her choices, her patterns, her judgment. People are framing the situation like this didn't happen out of nowhere, like this is the result of years of decisions catching up in one visible moment. And here's where it gets really rough. The room, it stops being a room. In the eyes of the backlash, it becomes a symbol of instability, a symbol of poor judgment, a symbol of consequences. And once something becomes symbolic like that, yeah, it's game over. Because now everything gets reinterpreted. The clutter isn't just clutter, it's about priorities. The condition of the space isn't just temporary, it's about character. Every object in the frame starts doing way more work than it ever should because people believe they're not looking at a moment, they're looking at a pattern. And that is the real backfire here. Not just that people didn't like what they saw, but that the exact footage she used to say, "Look, I'm authentic," got received as proof of the opposite. She wanted the mess to feel honest. People used the mess to argue her entire story was falling apart. Because here's the thing, the whole defense only works if people accept the framing. They have to believe they're looking at the normal overflow of a hard-working mom doing her best in a tough situation. But if they don't accept that frame, the exact same video tells a completely different story. And that's exactly what happened. Instead of, "Wow, she's really doing it all," people landed on, "This looks completely out of control." Instead of, "She's being real," it became, "She's exposing way more than she realizes." Instead of, "She's protecting her kids," it turned into, "They're still at the center of all of this." And now the environment itself is the issue. So that authenticity angle, it didn't save her. It actually made things worse. Because the moment she labeled this as her real, everyday life, she gave people permission to judge it exactly like that. She took away the idea that this might have just been a bad day. She set it as the standard. And once that happened, the backlash hit 10 times harder. Because now it's not, "Oh, that was unfortunate." It's, "This is what it usually looks like." And that is the line that really made everything explode. And the craziest part? This isn't even a one-time thing. People are already pointing out the pattern. She tries to explain herself, the explanation reveals more than intended, those details spark more criticism, and the next defense has to fight an even bigger wave. It's like this never-ending loop where every attempt to fix the narrative somehow creates a brand new reason for people to push back harder. And that's exactly what played out here. This video was supposed to humanize her, to make people finally understand her side, to make the messy but real mom image feel relatable. Instead, it turned into another moment where her own content fueled the backlash and made everything worse. So now, here we are. She wanted people to see a tired, overworked, hands-on mom just being honest about her life. But what a lot of people actually saw was chaos, conditions that raised eyebrows, contradictions that didn't sit right, and a setting that sparked way more concern than sympathy. And once that shift happened, the conversation stopped being about one messy room. It became about trust, about the gap between the image she's trying to sell and the reality people think they're seeing. And yeah, that backfired hard. Let me know what you think below, and I'll see you in the next one.